So the next area that we want to look at is we want to talk about addressing modes, so that at least we now have a clear understanding of how instructions are structured, how they are executed, and how they are referenced, and how data is located, how it is accessed, or what is used to locate it. Remember, in our should be our first video, we were talking about the structure of a computer system as having been inspired from a human system or from a human being. Even the way operations of a computer are performed or arranged, they are more or less inspired by the day-to-day way of life of human beings. For example, we were saying that if you look at the human being, you look at the eyes, the mouth, the ears, these are what? Input and output devices. The ears, your scanners, the mouth, I don't know what you call it, but it's an input device. You look at your brain, probably it's your central processing unit, where all instructions are received and processed, and they would have been received either from the ears or from the eyes or from the mouth. So you can see the way the computer system is debatable though, but that my view is slightly inspired by the human being. And this concept that we want to look at here of addressing, if you want to know where John lives, John has an address. He stays at number 4753 Budiriro. Peter stays at number 2730 Unit H Tungwiza. Mary stays at number 44 Duliwadzimu Township in Bybridge. These are the addressing modes that are referencing to specific locations where we can access these individuals. So the computer system also uses the same concept of addressing modes, where for each instruction that is given, besides the instruction part, there is need for an address in the instruction that's direct where the instruction is going. I think if you are going to be doing you are doing computer networking, you appreciate this concept of addressing, even for networking devices. They have their different concept of addressing. But for now, let's look at the addressing mode in the context of instruction execution. And one key thing that you should have understood by now, or you have an appreciation of, for you to understand the concept of addressing modes, is the fetch, decode, execute cycle. You need to really understand that. And I don't think it's that difficult to understand. So the register code program counter keeps tracks of instructions that are stored in memory. And the program counter also holds the address of the next instruction to be executed. So it's incremented each time an instruction is fetched from memory. So we are saying the program kind of keep track of all the instructions that are being executed or that are waiting to be what. And one key thing in instruction execution is that the decoding of the current instruction also determines what the operation to be performed and the next instruction to be what to be executed. And all this is assisted or aided by addressing modes to identify the location of the operands using what the addressing modes. So the first addressing mode that we are going to look at is the immediate addressing mode. I think if you looked at the one address instruction that we talked about earlier on, we were saying R1, add R1, which means we only have what? The instruction and the operand. Add R1. And in this case, or in this addressing mode, the value of the operand is immediately available in the instruction itself. Add R1. So the value of the instruction is immediately available in what? In the instruction itself. So that's what an immediate addressing for you. I always give an example of this immediate addressing mode using the example of boys and girls who want to ask each other out. But let me combine this immediate addressing with this one so that we illustrate it with using an example. So in direct addressing mode, the address of the memory location that was the operand included in the instruction is contained what in the instruction itself. As you can see here, the instruction is here. It is directly pointing what to the operand that is supposed to be used. So, for example, when a boy wants to ask a girl out, the one who goes and talks to the girl directly is using what? A direct addressing mode. In that he is taking his instruction directly to what? To the operand. Now, this is different when we look at indirect addressing mode, where, let me just bring it here so that you can see what I'm talking about. I hope it's now visible. Where we have John here wanting to ask Mary out here. Instead of John going directly to Mary, as was the case here in direct addressing mode. In indirect addressing, John will go and tell Peter, then Peter will go and tell Mary what the message. That's indirect addressing for you. I hope it's clear from this example. So we've talked about direct addressing and indirect addressing. Using this example where we've said in direct addressing, when John wants to ask Mary out, he goes straight and asks Mary out. And in indirect addressing, John will go to Peter, then Peter will go and tell Mary. So maybe we can give it another example. We want to go to, let's say we are at Tier 1 Center for Learning, and we want to go at Tier 1 Exchange in Avondale. So instead of going direct from the Tier 1 Exchange, so from Tier 1 Center for Learning to the Avondale Exchange, we might be told that the address or the directions to the Tier 1 Exchange, you will get them at what? At the main exchange in the CBD. So you will leave from Tier 1 Center for Learning, then you go to the main exchange at Corner Second and Samora. Then you are given the exact address from there so that you go to Avondale. That's what indirect addressing. If it was direct addressing, you would get the address at Tier 1 and head straight to Avondale. Then we look at register addressing. And this is similar to direct addressing, with the only difference being that the address field will refer to a register rather than a memory address. So we have the address field here being referring to a register that points to the operand. That's what register addressing for you. So if we were to come back here in immediate addressing, the operand is stored in the instruction. Then when you look here at register addressing, instead of having the operand here, we first have a register that points to the operand. Indexed addressing. The address of the operand is obtained by adding a constant to the contents of a register called the index. So this is an improvement of register addressing, where instead of moving direct from the register to the operand, for you to get the address of the operand, you are now adding the contents of a register to the index. So this is index addressing for you. So one key component that identifies the index addressing is is the index register that is included in the instruction. Then lastly, we look at auto-indexed or increment mode. In this case, the effective address of the operand is the contents of the register specified in the instruction. So after you have accessed the operand, the contents of this register are automatically incremented to point you to the next memory location where you access the relevant data. So in auto-indexed, one register will reference to one or more memory location. So I think that's all.